It's been said a lot recently, Anthony Davis is LeBron's best teammate ever. Is that true, or is that just a media narrative? Are we just really excited at the last chip we saw, or do the numbers back it up? This video ranks the best of the best LeBron James teammates. We count down the top 5 and where AD fits in. First though, we have to mention LeBron didn't always play with other great players. This dude is so good, he took the 2007 Cavaliers to the finals, one of the worst supporting casts ever to make it that far. They weren't competitive, and LeBron left his hometown to get help. He formed a big 3 in Miami, of course, another one in Cleveland, and now a big 2 in LA. But LeBron is the common denominator. He unlocks his teammates' potential. Take the AD pairing, for example. They both naturally play in the front court, but LeBron James is actually positionless. He led the league in assists playing full-time point guard this year. That versatility in LeBron's game makes everything easier on everyone else. So, to rank LeBron's top 5 teammates, we are grading them 1 to 10 based on skill, fit, clutchness, which we'll define as playing big in big games, and intangibles. The number 5 LeBron teammate ever was Kevin Love. In terms of skill, Love is an amazing player. He averaged a double-double in his time with LeBron, but he's the only top 5 LeBron teammate to miss an All-Star game when healthy. Love made 2 of 4 All-Star rosters as a LeBron James teammate. So his skill is a 7. Now, his clutchness is well documented. Love was one of the Cavs' best players in the biggest game in team history. His stop on Steph Curry late in Game 7 doesn't get the same publicity as Kyrie Irving's shot, but it was just as crucial. His clutchness is an 8. His fit with LeBron off the court was almost never good. In fact, Love said after LeBron left, "We're not best friends," and he was being nice. On the court, Love told JJ Redick recently that he had to change everything about his game, and it was tough. We can't knock their fit. I mean, they made 4 straight NBA Finals, but a LeBron Love Big 2 isn't exactly a LeBron AD Big 2. The fit is a 7. Now we get to intangibles, and here's where working with LeBron James can get dicey no matter who the teammate is. LeBron's not always the easiest guy to play with because of media attention, the scrutiny that exists, and because whatever LeBron James says goes. Not everyone can humble themselves to that level. Kevin Love had it especially bad because LeBron was still developing as a leader. I mean, LeBron even sent an embarrassing subtweet about fitting out versus fitting in that was clearly calling out Kevin Love. It was a rocky start, but they made it work to a title. The intangibles is a 7. LeBron's number 4 teammate was Chris Bosh. In Miami, CB always filled up the box score. He made the All-Star team all 4 years. His skill is an 8, but their chemistry had to grow a bit because Bosh evolved his game. In 2011, he hit just 24% of his threes on 25 attempts, but in 2014, that was 34% on 218 attempts from downtown. Bosh's ability to stretch the floor at the end helped his on-court fit, and it's a big reason he's a top 4 LeBron teammate. His fit is also an 8. Exhibit A of his clutchness is Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals. We all remember Ray Allen's game-tying 3 that broke the Spurs' spirit, right? Well, that would not have happened without Chris Bosh grabbing that rebound. He also stuffed Danny Green at the buzzer in overtime of that game. His clutchness also an 8. As for intangibles, Chris Bosh gets huge props here from going from a number 1 in Toronto to a number 3 in Miami. That is a huge step down. Here's a quote from Bosh about advice he would give Kevin Love before they teamed up in Cleveland. Quote, "It's going to be very difficult for him. Even if I was in his corner and I was able to tell him what to expect and what to do, it still doesn't make any difference. You still have to go through things. You still have to figure out things on your own. It's extremely difficult and extremely frustrating." Okay, that shows how mature Bosh is to find his way through all that and make it work, it is 8 across the board for Chris Bosh. His number 3 teammate was Kyrie Irving. There is no denying Kyrie's skill. He did miss an All-Star game as a LeBron teammate, but that was because of injury, and it was considered a snub in 2016. Kyrie has the best handles in the league. He is electric offensively, but he can get exposed defensively. His skill is an 8. The fit between LeBron and Kyrie had to grow over their 3 years together. At first, it was rough. Kyrie was used to an offense that ran exclusively through him. He assisted only 1 of every 17 LeBron buckets. That grew, though, in year 2 to 1 assist every 6 LeBron James score. And in the 2016 finals, they each had 41 points in Game 5. Their fit obviously ended amazing. We would grade it an 8. Now about clutchness. This topic has been in the news recently. Kyrie basically said Kevin Durant can make the big shots that LeBron cannot. Quote, "I felt like I was the best option on every team I played for down the stretch. This is the first time in my career where I can be like, that MFer can make that shot too." That quote speaks to 2 things. First, Kyrie's clutchness. We all know he is a 10 for hitting the shot that won Game 7 and a title for Cleveland. But that quote also shows why Kyrie's intangibles are a 4. This dude can't stay out of his own way. He is the only LeBron teammate that couldn't humble himself to play with the king. It's what broke them up, sending Kyrie to Boston, but everything else in his game makes him LeBron's number 3 teammate. So, on to number 2 and number 1, and we're going to reveal them together to break it down. Number 2 is Anthony Davis, and number 1 is still Dwayne Wade. They are both incredibly talented, AD even more so because of his elite defense. In terms of skill, AD is a 10, Dwayne Wade is a 9. The fit is unquestioned for both as well. Davis-James lobs are just as breathtaking as a Wade-James fast break, but how could you be better than peanut butter and jelly? The fit is a 9 for AD, but a 10 for Wade. I also give a slight Wade edge with intangibles and clutchness. LeBron went to the Lakers before Anthony Davis. He then helped orchestrate the trade to get AD. James is 8 years older than him too, so it's obvious whose team it is. But think about what Dwayne Wade had to do. He let a guy 3 years younger than him come to his team and take over. There was no power struggle. It's not talked about enough, but we need to give Dwayne Wade huge props for having the smarts and humility to just give LeBron the keys to his franchise. I know to us that seems like an obvious thing to do to win championships, but not everyone is built like that. Just think about Carmelo Anthony and Jeremy Lin. Lin had 2 great weeks with Melo out injured, but when he came back, it was over. Melo forced the coaches to run the offense through him, and it even led to Mike D'Antoni getting fired. I am not saying AD is a jealous teammate at all, but Dwayne Wade deserves huge credit for making winning his number 1 priority. I give AD's intangibles a 9 and Dwayne Wade's a 10. Then there's clutchness. At this point, we can't put Anthony Davis above Dwayne Wade after 1 NBA title. No offense, but they won against an up-and-coming Heat team, and AD was great offensively in games 1 and 2, but he shrank later on in the series. The LeBron-Wade Miami Heat, on the other hand, went to 4 NBA Finals in a row and won 2 titles, including 1 against an all-time Spurs team. Yes, Wade gets the benefit of having LeBron James in his offensive prime, but we know how clutch Wade is, especially from his pre-LeBron championships. In terms of clutchness, AD gets a 7 while Wade gets a 9. Look, Anthony Davis is still proving himself. I think they have the potential to be the most exciting duo since Shaq and Kobe, but putting them up there right now is premature. All things being equal, even LeBron's age, Dwayne Wade's resume with LeBron proved he is the best teammate the King has ever had. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. My name's Casey. I host a channel called AM Hoops. Go check it out for 5 NBA videos a week.